The world of AI is moving at an absolutely breakneck pace. I mean, new models, new investments, new everything seems to be dropping almost daily. So we're going to dive into this race, try to figure out who's actually building our future, and ask a really important question. Is anyone even thinking about the brakes?
And that right there is the big question, isn't it? We're all seeing this incredible progress, but it's happening so fast that it's creating this real tension between what we can do and whether we should. Today, we're going to break down who the key players are and what's really driving this incredible speed. So, where do we even start? Well, there's really only one place to begin, with the company that basically lit the fuse on this whole explosion, OpenAI. Just when it looked like competitors were starting to catch up, they went and raised the stakes all over again. Right? As companies like Google with their Gemini models were closing the gap, boom, OpenAI unveils GPT 5.2. And look, this wasn't just some small update. This was a massive statement that they have zero intention of slowing down. So what's under the hood that makes it so powerful? The specs on this thing are just staggering. It's got this new tiered structure for different kinds of tasks, but the performance numbers are where it gets truly wild. We're talking about it outperforming human experts by 71% in complex, hours-long tasks. It's acing elite coding tests, and get this, users are already getting it to build entire 3D graphics engines from just a simple text prompt. And check out this chart, because it shows one of the most important improvements. The model's tendency to hallucinate, when it just makes stuff up, has been cut by a huge 38%. So what does that mean? It means it's not just more creative, it's becoming way more reliable. And that, in turn, makes it so much more powerful. Okay, but here's where it gets kind of weird. Look at the timing here. The literal day before unleashing this incredibly powerful new model, OpenAI itself puts out a report warning about the serious cybersecurity risks that these exact kinds of models create. It's a pretty stunning contradiction. And what this really shows us is their incredibly complex strategy. So on one hand, they're pushing the tech forward as fast as humanly possible. On the other, they're setting up a safety council to try and manage the risks. And at the exact same time, they're signing a billion-dollar deal with Disney to embed this tech right into the heart of our culture. It's acceleration, caution, and business all happening at once. But here's the thing. OpenAI isn't operating in a vacuum. Not even close. Every single move they make sends shockwaves through the industry, and the competition is firing right back. This isn't one company's race. It's a full-blown global arms race. I mean, the very same day OpenAI announced GPT 5.2, Google immediately responds. They drop an updated version of their own deep research agent, built on their powerful Gemini 3 model. This is a direct shot in the race to build autonomous AI agents, AIs that can, do complex stuff for you all on their own. And the money pouring into this race is just hard to get your head around. Take a company like Skilled AI. They're a robotics firm building a collective mind where robots can learn from each other in real time. With a new investment from giants like SoftBank and NVIDIA, its valuation could jump to over $14 billion. This is where the AI software ambitions start to become real physical things. And it is absolutely a global phenomenon. The Chinese appliance giant Midea just showed off a 6-armed robot. Why 6 arms? Because it's designed to be 30% more efficient than a robot that looks like a human. So the very shape of AI is changing, breaking away from our image to be purely, ruthlessly efficient. All this technology, it doesn't just appear out of nowhere. People are building it. And to really get what's happening in this moment, Time magazine argues we need to look past the politicians and focus on the handful of individuals who are quite literally architecting our new reality. This quote from Time it hits, right? It perfectly captures this massive power shift that's underway. The folks building the chips, training the models, and running the data centers, they now have a level of influence over our future that is, well, maybe unprecedented? So let's meet the cast. Time identifies these 8 people not just as CEOs, but as archetypes, the archetypes of this new era. You've got Jensen Huang, the key holder, whose NVIDIA chips are the engine for everything. There's Sam Altman, the fire starter, who kicked off this whole frenzy. You've got Damas Hassabis over at Google, labeled the conscience, and Dario Amodei, called the Warner in the race, who's sounding alarms even as his own company races ahead. Each one plays a really distinct role in this story. Let's just put 2 of these figures side by side to really feel the tension here. You have Sam Altman, the fire starter, the guy who unleashed this revolution and now seems to be driving a car where the brakes might not even work. And then you have someone like Demis Hassabis from Google DeepMind, who's being called the conscience, the scientist who seems to really get the power he's playing with, keeping his foot closest to the brake.
And then you have this powerful voice, Fei Li, who's basically one of the godmothers of modern AI. Time calls her the human compass. Her argument is so simple but so profound. We have to focus on making AI humane before we make it more powerful. Our values have to come first.
So when you pull the camera back and look at the big picture that all of this is painting, one theme just screams out at you. We are in a state of unchecked, full speed ahead acceleration.
And this really is the central dilemma. It's a global race with so many drivers, corporations, countries, investors, and every single one of them has their foot slammed on the accelerator. Why? Because there's a ton of money, power, and applause for going faster. But as Time magazine puts it so well, there's no brake pedal in sight.
And that forces us to ask a really uncomfortable question, right? In this absolute mad dash for progress, in this race to build the future as fast as we possibly can, what are we sacrificing along the way? What's being left behind? Is it job security? Is it our own mental well-being in a world that feels like it's changing faster than we can keep up? Is it real, genuine human connection? Or is it something even bigger than all that? The chance to just slow down and actually, thoughtfully decide what kind of future we want to build, instead of just getting the one that speed gives us.
And this is maybe the wildest part of the whole story. The very architects building this future, people like Demis Hassabis, Dario Amodei, even Sam Altman, they're the ones warning us about how dangerous it could be. They all talk about the risks, and yet every single one of their companies is flooring it. All gas.
Which leaves us right here. We are proving every single day that we can build this new world of AI at a blinding speed. But as we race forward, with all gas and no brakes, maybe we've been so focused on asking, can we, that we completely forgot to ask the most important question of all. Should we?